Hi, we're in New York City on location, and I have a testimony that I want to give that happened about 7 or 8 months ago. I had traveled to Florida to do some ministry work, and as I was in Florida witnessing to the different people in the neighborhoods that I was going to, I met a lot of interesting people down there. The main work that we do is usually Islam and Bible prophecy and the Prophet Muhammad. And I had visited a few mosques down there, and it was getting to the end of my trip, and I was headed back to my friend's house for the evening. And as I was packing up, I was praying that Allah would bless me on my trip tomorrow to find someone that I might be able to witness to along the way. So I got up the next morning and had prayers and devotion and left out on the trip very early. And I had gotten all the way up to the Florida line, and I hit the first rest area in Georgia. And I wanted to take a quick break and relax, and I saw this family at the side of their car, and I thought they had been broke down for a while. So I went over to speak to him and realized that he was a Muslim. And I said the greeting to him, Assalamu alaikum, how are you today? And he said, oh, very blessed. And I said, are you broke down by chance? Do you need some help? He said, no. I said, well, where are you from? He said, Georgia. And I said, really? I said, I live in Georgia also, up north of Atlanta. And he said, well, I live in the suburbs. And we got to talking. He said, what do you do for a living? And I said, well, I go around to different parts of the United States to educate Protestant faiths and other groups about Prophet Muhammad and Bible prophecy and Islam. And he said, really? He goes, that's interesting. He said, what faith are you? And I said, I'm Seventh-day Adventist. He said, hey, I know some Seventh-day Adventists. I live down the road, and there's an ABC bookstore. And I went down there looking for some material, and a lady down there helped me, and she gave me a book by Ellen White on health. And I said, you know who Ellen White is, really? Because this is a shock, because most Muslim people don't know who Adventists are, let alone Ellen White. So he proceeded to tell me how gifted Ellen White was in the health message. And I had asked him if he had read anything else, and he said no. And I said, well, she's a very inspired writer. And he said, yes, I've been told many, many times that she is a inspired writer, and that she was very low education grade, I think is what he said. And I said, yes, she only had a 3rd grade education. And he goes, yes, that's what I've been told, but he goes, I know she's been led by God. And I said, yes, she has. And I said, well, do you read the Bible? He said, actually, I'm starting to read it. And so I talked to him about Joel 1 and 2 and discussed Isaiah 60 about the Jews and going to the people. And he said that that was very interesting, that when he got settled back at home that he would give me a call. So I waited and waited, and finally I told a brother of mine that I said, hey, I don't know if this guy's going to call me back or not. And I told the story about what had happened. And that, now if you fast forward to where we're at on location in New York City, we were on our way to do this morning, and I got a call in the car while we were traveling to the city, and it happened to be Mr. Scott. And he proceeded to tell me, he goes, I don't know if you remember me or not, but we met a while back, and he was telling me that he had tried my phone number, and it had rang disconnected. So he called the other brother that was listed on the literature, and that's how we got the call in the car off the other phone. And he just wanted to thank us over and over for the wonderful, wonderful literature and material that we had given him on the health message and on Prophet Muhammad and Bible prophecy. And he said that he really wanted to learn more about it. So here in the next few weeks, we're going to get back with him to do Bible studies and teach him the health message and do some cooking classes with him. And he said that that would be great. So keep us in your prayers as we're doing God's work, that this will be another divine appointment and God will lead. Thank you.